What's up guys, today we're going to be breaking down the foot plant pivot turn on flat ground. This is one of the most useful techniques for not only hard enduro but all around riding. This will allow you to move the bike 180 degrees around without getting off, having to lift it and wear yourself out. So for step one, we have to get the wheel off the ground. Now I'm going to show you how to do this technique with the engine off just so we can really see what I'm doing with my body movements. First thing I'm doing is planting my left foot. When learning this technique, it's going to be easier to start with your left foot on the ground. That way you can work the rear brake with your right foot. Next, I'm making sure that I apply front and rear brake. If you don't apply the brakes, the bike will just roll around freely. So starting with my arms locked and my weight back over the fender, I'm going to abruptly come forward, driving my leg and my knee in a downward angle towards the tank. This is going to compress the front forks. With the forks compressed like so, this will now allow the rebound of the suspension to do most of the work. All I'm doing next is simply coming back up with the rebound using my full body to pull. I'm not just yanking with my arms. It's going to be a bit more difficult to move the bike to the right with your left foot planted, but that too in time can be mastered. Now that we have the technique down, we're going to fire up the bike and do the same exact technique, only this time we're going to add a little bit of clutch pop and a little bit of throttle. Notice my clutch and throttle hand. Basically what I'm doing is simultaneously letting out the clutch and giving it throttle at the same time. Just a little bit of clutch and a little bit of throttle. I'm not fully letting it out and I'm not going wide open. This allows the rear tire to lurch forward with quick bursts of acceleration. This technique, applied with the proper body technique that I showed you earlier, should make this whole move pretty effortless. Now that we've mastered getting the front wheel off the ground, we're going to move on to step two, which is getting the front wheel high enough in the air to reach the balance point so we can turn it. So again, I'm starting with the same technique as before, but this time I'm committing to a little bit more throttle and letting the clutch out for just a little bit longer. Once you start getting the front wheel off the ground, you want to think, pull the bike to your chest. We need to get the front wheel up into the balance point as soon as possible. If not, the bike will want to physically start wheeling forward. And we don't want that. We want to keep our foot plant in the same spot for the whole maneuver. Once I have the front wheel up to a comfortable balancing point, all I'm doing now is using my upper body to simply steer the bike where I want to go. I'm keeping the clutch slightly disengaged just long enough to keep power to the rear wheel to help me keep my front wheel up throughout my turn. Also take note of my foot that's still on the peg. I'm using it to cover the rear brake to eliminate looping out. I'm also giving it just a quick tap when I'm ready to bring the front wheel back down to the ground. And there you have it. That's everything you need to know to master the foot plant. Be sure to check out part 2 to learn how to foot plant over an obstacle. Thanks for watching, guys.